but I'll just keep walking. And she says, "Oh, I'm sorry, babe, I didn't hear you."
Yeah, I use that now. It doesn't work.
No, you're not there yet.
Yeah.
So. I love that intro. So, Robby, thank you. Thank you for being here, man.
That's good to be here. It's good to see you, man. It's been almost 2 years, February.
Has it been 2 years already?
Yeah, because I left. That 2 years ago when I was like right around the snowstorm that hit Texas, and a little left shortly after that, and it's been 2 years. It'll be 2 years in February.
And where exactly in Texas are you now?
I'm in now I'm in Frisco. Most people, I just tell them it's in Dallas or Plano, and they kind of like, oh, okay, I know where that is.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, that's about it. If you tell me Dallas, Fort Worth, then or Austin, okay, I got a good visual. Anything else other than that, I don't.
Austin's about 3.5-ish hours north or south.
Is it? Yeah. My sister lived in San Antonio for a number of years. Where'd you live, Brian?
He was in Dallas.
Yeah, I lived in Waxahachie, which is just 40 minutes south of Dallas area. But obviously, I know exactly where Frisco is, and I know because I live there.
Yeah. So, how are you liking it there? You can be honest.
A lot of it's the same. A lot of it's a little different. I miss California. How can you not?
Exactly.
And with the prices and everything the way it is, it's almost but not much of a price difference. Like I got a buddy who's paying $1,400 here for his half of rent, and I'm only paying $300 less. Yeah, and that's not even including the bills part. So, yeah, it's good, man. I still got friends, friends there that I've been friends with since high school. So,
do you? So you went there having a group of people that you already knew?
Yeah, my girlfriend I met, I knew her from high school, and we reconnected at one point because she was looking for personal training, but that was 50-50. So that thing just kind of just snowballed into what it is today. And I've like I said, I've had friends that still live there, and then came back from high school. That's pretty much the same three friends I've had, and plus, I got another a couple other buddies too. They're a little older, but
yeah, I think the main thing most people talk about when they say that they're moving, to Texas or going to Colorado, going to Utah, whatever it is, everybody says the same thing. They're getting the fuck out of California. Number one, they don't like the politics, which take it or leave it. Politics, either nationally or locally or statewide. Yeah. There's nothing you can do about it, anyways. No. So that's number one. They always want to bring that up as their point of reasoning why they're going. But the other reason is the traffic and the crowd and the people. But I don't know. Maybe it's just me used to it. But
there's bullshit everywhere you go, man. So, whether you move to here or Montana, you're going to have to put up with some sort of bullshit, whether it's the traffic or whether it's, being in Montana in the middle of nowhere, driving 10 miles to the nearest town or whatever. But, I didn't move because of all that stuff. I moved for, job, girlfriend, she was a part of it. Plus, just a lot of making wrong decisions that, was coming to an end that was going to be kind of, it was getting a little dangerous, I guess you could say. Mm-hmm. Getting stupid. Yeah. Feeling like I was Superman, and even Superman, gets hurt every once in a while.
You're going to get dinged at some point in time.
Yep. Yeah. And I've already, I've dodged 2 bullets, so you don't want to try to find the third one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah. So, nothing wrong with the fresh start. Going someplace, if you got the opportunity, kind of, kick over a new leaf and, kind of start anew.
Well, after moving to California for the 8 years that I was here, definitely I agree with the fact that, you should leave. If you're me being in Texas or Plano for 18-ish years that I was there. Mm-hmm. It's good to go and explore and see what else is out there. Right. Especially when you're young and you don't have to worry about anything. You don't have kids, you're not married, you don't have a mortgage. I think traveling is a huge thing. Oh. That's definitely, something I want to do. I got some bucket list places and would still love to, go do some traveling.
Where you want to go? What's on your bucket list?
Oh, Australia.
Australia?
Yeah. I want to play with a kangaroo, a tiger. I want to run from a cheetah or whatever, man.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Yeah. Australia has always been kind of like a real cool place to think about going. It's so wide open. It's, it's just, you think we have deserts here. I mean, the shit that they've got back there, what do they call the what do they call that? The back,
the down under,
or whatever it was. Yeah. But man, they got some freaking wild places, you know. And then the population, for as big as Australia is not that much. There's still a lot of really open, deserted, you know, areas. I'm sure they got their cities that are still congested, but for the most part, man, it sounds like it's really open. But I don't know about chasing a freaking tiger.
So that's a baby tiger. Who cares?
Yeah. There's a baby. There's a mama. Yeah. I don't know. What else, you know, do you see?
I mean, I would like to go back to Hawaii. That was fun. I like that. That was enjoyable. I want to kind of go to like the greener side of the island, you know, and do all that kind of stuff. Like I'm definitely all about more sort of experiences than, you know, buying the Louis V or whatever. I mean, that stuff's nice, of course, but definitely spending money on experience to me is more worth it than going to the mall. Yeah.
There's so many cool places in Hawaii, especially right now. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's going on right there with the big volcano happening. You know, I saw a picture the other day. The volcano's in the background, and it's just like bright lava, red and smoking. And the picture was taken up on the mountain where there's snow. And I mean, it's like, I don't know too many other places that are going to.
Well, I mean, you can also, I mean, just like, you know, when you look back at pictures from like the first time I went to Hawaii, I mean, that was like 6 years, almost 7 years ago. You know, you don't realize how fast necessarily time flies until you go back and look at pictures in 2 weeks. What seems like, you know, that was like 2 weeks ago. And then you're like, wait, no, that was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's definitely about building experiences because, I mean, especially with you getting older, I mean, things just fly by and then you're just too busy for anything.
Yeah. Sooner or later, family, work, everything kind of slows all that opportunity down. You know, unless you're, you know, hitting it
unless
big.
You're rich like you.
Yeah, like me. I don't take my family anywhere. Yeah, that's, you know, but Hawaii is really cool. It's been always one of my favorite places. I you know, and I've been to a lot of the different islands, and the North Shore of Oahu is still my all-time favorite place. You know, it gets kind of crazy, but it hasn't changed dramatically from what it was. I think there's a lot more restraints there, at least since the last time I was there. I don't know, could it change now? But
yeah, one of my favorite places was the Dominican Republic. That was a fun time. Went to Jamaica for a cruise 1 year for like around New Year's Eve. That was fun.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll ever do a cruise again though, but I mean the experience overall was fun.
Really? Yeah. Tell me about the cruise. 'Cause I have never been on one, and the idea of being on one is not all that appealing.
Well, you heard about the poop cruise. Did you hear about that? You didn't hear about this? So my girlfriend was telling me about we were talking about cruises because I was like bored just looking at them and just kind of seeing what was out there. And she's like, got all like kind of like nervous and brought up the poop cruise. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? I thought she was fucking with me.
Yeah.
And she goes, no. She's like, I guess like there's a fire, the generator went out, so like there was no running water, there was no electricity, there was no AC, and like people were like literally just shitting in bags and like standing it outside like their front
at their cabin door,
whatever, dorm, whatever you want to call it, for like 4 days, and they were stuck at sea or something crazy. But I mean, the cruise we went on, honestly, man, like it was fun. I mean, it was a lot of it was paid for, so the only thing I really had to pay for was my half of the flight and maybe like one or two other things. But beyond that, like we had a drinking card that basically you just go up and you just swipe it or whatever, and it's basically linked to your credit card. So all you do is just swipe your card and basically kind of get whatever you want. But overall, I mean, like, so we flew to Miami. I mean, it was a nice cruise. I mean, they had everything you could want. I mean, they had entertainment, like a big, huge, like theater you could go to and watch whatever shows they had to offer. You could gamble. You could do basketball. You could do rock climbing. You could do like the wave surfing thing, like the makeshift waves that they have, whatever, with the machine or whatever. What else? They had the track, obviously the pool. The gym was nice because it overlooked the ocean. What else? But it was more so like we went like the experience of like going to the Grand Cayman Islands. We went kayaking and snorkeling, I believe. I think it was that trip. We went kayaking and snorkeling. Then they fed us. And then the next day, or the next part of the trip was, I believe, Jamaica, and we got to ride horses. Like, they took us like on this trail. They took us kind of like in the ocean, and the horses, like, we swam with us on their backs or whatever. That was cool.
So you got to ride them on the beach itself?
Yeah, we got to ride them on the beach, and they took us on this trail, like, somewhere through. I thought I was going to be able to ride one because, like, they had a weight limit. And at the time, I was a little heavy. So.
You've been heavy ever since I've known you.
Well, for the horse, I was a little heavy.
Yeah.
And then we went to Haiti. That was interesting.
Yeah, what was that like?
I mean, it was kind of like, for that trip, it was just basically like a beach day. So, like, we got, like, our own little space on the beach, and, like, we had, like, our own little personal waiter, and then they would just come bring us stuff, and we just hang out at the beach until it was time to go. And Haiti, I mean, we walked around a little bit. Like, they had the shops, but those people are a pain in the ass because everybody wants you to buy everything, and they're like, you know, they just hound you, and they kind of like just shovel you in and stuff. But I bought a couple things because, you know, why not? I mean, what's $10 to me at that point, and $10 to them is not the same. So I was like, I'll just help them out.
Yeah.
So bought some cool stuff. I don't know where it is now. It's probably in the trash, but nonetheless.
Yeah, if it even made it back.
Yeah. I mean, Haiti was cool. I mean, it was just a chill day. Like, out of probably the best of the days was probably for sure Jamaica.
Yeah. Yeah, Jamaica's supposed to be really beautiful.
The people there were real cool, too.
Yeah. Yeah, real poor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, real poor. But
some places, I mean, there were some houses that were monstrous, and there were some areas that were, you know, shit, just like, I mean, anywhere else.
Right.
And they were all, I mean, they're all pretty nice, and they were pretty cool, so.
Yeah. But going back to the cruise, man, I'm so amazed at how freaking big these ships are gotten.
Dude, they're huge.
I mean, it's unbelievable. I was out because I do outrigger canoe paddling, so I was out and just out here in front here in Long Beach inside the breakwater, and I paddled over to one of the Carnival cruise lines, and those aren't even that big in comparison to some of the really giant ones that are out running around. Mm-hmm. And just being in the water right below it, it's massive. It's just freaking massive. It's, you know, that they can put so many people on it, and everybody's fairly comfortable. It's crazy.
Well, when you're looking down, I'm just like, man, I mean, I don't know if you do this, but I just think about, like, man, what if you fell over?
Oh.
And, like, in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Oh, you'd be so fucked.
Oh, yeah, you'd be gone.
Oh, my God.
You'd be gone.
Yeah, I just think about that kind of stuff. And
if you didn't get sucked up underneath there in the propeller, you know.
I don't probably prefer that.
Exactly, than sitting out there waiting for some shark to come by and freaking gobble you up. Or
that happened like a month ago.
Did it really?
Yeah, some
he
lady
lived though, right? Or she
it was
lived?
a chick. Yeah, some lady like went over the edge or something, and she tread water for like 15 hours.
15 freaking hours.
They found her. Like they realized she was missing, and she tread water. That was actually when I was in Cancun. They were in the Gulf of Mexico, like right there. like that was happening like in the Gulf of Mexico. Yeah.
Fucking kidding me?
15 hours.
Can you imagine what went through her head as she was going over?
She's probably saying her piece, man. I mean, what do you do? It's pitch black in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah, yeah. You don't even know if you're going over the edge.
No life jacket? She probably had personal flotation devices.
Yeah, maybe if she was lucky. But, you know, can you imagine going over the edge of it? It's pitch black. You don't even know when you're going to hit the water.
You don't even know where you are.
You don't know where you're at. You know what you're doing. Holy, 15. And when? At what point do you just give up? What point do you just give up hope? I mean, 2 hours, 3 hours, 6 hours? I mean,
I don't even know if I would. I mean, I'd probably give up hope at the first time I got bit by a shark. Yeah,
or even I don't know. My hope would literally, and I'm not that much of a fetus, but my hope would be pretty much gone the second I hit the water, because the thought and the idea. First of all, it's pitch black. How long is it going to be before the sun comes up? Mm-hmm. Second of all, if you've ever been out there in the ocean, just bobbing like I've been on my little one man.
Hard.
Yeah, my little one man, outrigger canoe, and I'll go out past the breakwater. Then, I can turn around and I can still see somewhat of the land. I'm still a mile or so offshore, and there's nothing else around you, and you're just bobbing there by yourself. I mean, you talk about surreal and just being, just feeling that full sense of being alone. Man, I can't imagine falling off a boat and being out in the water. I can't imagine what was going through that lady's head.
It was a man. You were right.
Yeah.
It's a dude from Alabama.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's 28 and says He says he doesn't know how it happened. He lost consciousness and he woke up in the water. It says his quote is, "I came to. I was in the water with no boat in sight."
Holy shit!
Oh man, was he? He had to have been obviously drunk or something, right?
I don't know, man.
I mean, that's the only way you fall over. I feel like.
Yeah. That was probably a saving grace too.
That's nuts.
Being fucked
lucky
up.
He didn't just like drown.
Yeah.
Like to hit the water like that.
And being out in the ocean, it's not like a lake that, okay, it's calm at night and there's not there. There's still rollers and chop and it's not easy just to stay afloat, you know, when you're bobbing up and down out there. That's fucking crazy.
Oh, man. Terrible.
Yeah.
3 top fears, man: getting burned to death, buried alive, and drowning.
Oh, buried alive. That's my top don't want to happen thing. That's why Jill already has instructions when I die, it's cremate me.
Yeah, you want to be cremated?
Yeah. I don't want to be in a box. You know. And she goes, "Where do you want me to spread you?" I don't freaking care at that point. You know, just wherever you want. You know, just, you know, but I prefer also don't keep me in the urn. That's just as bad as being.
So you want her to dump you?
Want to dump me someplace? Yeah, I don't care. I don't care where. You know, preferably someplace where there's water. But
Hawaii.
Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah. See, that's kills 2 birds with 1 stone. She can go on a vacation to get over it, and
she'll find her next husband. But like, what's up, baby? What are you doing? I'm just going to dump my husband.
Yeah. If you want to go to dinner, sure. Easily forgotten. Crap. Yeah.
So how you been, man? It's been
good.
How's the gym?
Gym is 3 days a week. You know, at best, I'm not hitting it as hard as I used to. Even my weights have really changed a lot. I'm a lot lighter, just doing the higher reps. And my mind, you know, something changed a couple years ago as I started getting a little bit older, because I'll be 70.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I'll be 70 next May.
No shit.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. Yeah. Dude, I thought you were still like in your like late 50s, barely early 60s.
Yeah, no, man. I'll be 70. And so when I turned about, I don't know, I guess it was about 67, I started, you know, thinking about, and a fear came over me of being injured, because all of a sudden now an injury at this age can be debilitating and almost impossible to recover from. You know, come back and you know, be back to where you were at least. I know. Yeah, I think it would be hard. So yes, that's about the time that I started to decide, you know, okay, I'm going to stop going heavy.
So what's your biggest injury fear?
Shoulders.
Have you always had problems with your shoulders?
Yeah. Especially over the last few years.
Like tendonitis or like it clicking or?
Just tendonitis, yeah. Yeah, right now. So, but fortunately, my shoulders have been in good shape, you know, for a little while now. So I haven't had really any injuries. Mm-hmm. My back's never been a problem. So my idea now is just to maintain, just to stay where I'm happy where I'm at. I stopped thinking about trying to lose as much body fat as I can, because I got to come to the realization at some point in time my body is going to be what my body is at this age, and not be able to really, you know, control a lot of it. You know, I can control diet and I control, the physical activity, but you know, right now it's just, I just want to maintain, because I want to, my goal right now for paddling, for example, is racing with the 6-man team. And so I just want to make sure that I stay healthy for that through the season.
But I mean, sounds like you're pretty active outside of the gym too. So
Yeah.
I mean, because I know it's going to come to a point too where I just don't really necessarily care as much. I mean, I don't know when that time will be, but
it's a weird, you know, it's a strange transition, because you go from, at least for me, in my mind, you know, going to the gym and lifting has not just been about lifting weights and about, you know, being fit and about, you know, seeing if I could build mass or whatever it was. It was also competition, and not competition in the way of competing on stage, but it's competition in the gym.
With yourself, yeah.
Well, with myself against people that don't even know I'm competing with them.
I do that shit. I used to do that all the time, man. I picked like the biggest dude in the gym, and I'd be like, all right.
Yeah.
I'm going to outlift you today.
Yeah. And see, I'd be like that with what I would see fit guys half my age. You know, and then I would see them watching me. Let's say if I was doing incline presses and at the time I was maybe using 80 or 90 pound dumbbells for reps. All of a sudden I'd see them looking at me and going over and trying, and that always juiced me up because it was like I would watch them and their forms like all shit, and they're maybe getting 2 reps in, and so I walk away feeling I'm 58 years old and you're 25. What the fuck?
Yeah, I used to do that when I was 15 and all that kind of stuff, and now it's just it just kind of just comes from within, I guess.
Yeah, it does.
But I mean, I'm at a different point now to where like everything I do is purpose driven and has a reason. So
yeah.
Plus, I just, like I said, the motivation kind of just comes from within.
Yeah.
So
well, my new thing now is that I'll use lighter weights. It's like the other day I just said, like I was, accustomed even up to a couple years ago doing heavier dumbbells. And now I'm more about 60, 65 pounds on my dumbbells. And I go to put them back and I look down the row all the way down to where the 80s and the 90s are. And it's like, that's a long fucking way down there, in 5 pound increments. That's a long way down there. I've come this far of where I'm at. But instead of feeling negative about that and that I have gotten weaker or I can't do it, I know that if I really push myself, I could do it. Again, it goes back to the fear of injury. But also, too, now I have the little safety parachute that I think of in my head, and that's I'm fucking 70, dude. What come in another 20 years and tell me what you can do. So I don't know. I play these stupid mind games with myself to.
Well, I mean, the fact that you're still in the gym, even probably for your age, I mean, it's still probably better than most people. My grandparents, they're in their 80s, and the ones in Washington, they've been just a little less active, and you can kind of tell that it just kind of slowly but surely like takes a little bit toll, and you can tell that they're kind of, I mean, I hate to say it, but like declining in a sense.
Yeah.
And they're just not as active as they once were. But I mean, Washington is just, it's to me, in my personal opinion, it's just a shit state, and I would never live there.
Well, it doesn't. There's nothing there to motivate you to go outside. I mean, it's so fucking cold and it's rainy and it's and I mean certain parts.
Well, they used to. They used to have a huge like garden that my grandma used to take care of, and like that was her thing. And like, we'd help as kids, and like they mow the lawn, but like like I said, as they're getting older, like their property's like 10 acres.
Yeah.
And at 85, I can tell you what, I don't want to do shit.
No.
I especially don't want to go mow 10 acres or whatever the case may be.
Hell no.
So and like
there's got to be something better to do by that time. You kind of earn the right to kind of do something more with your life than freaking go mow 10 acres of lawn.
Well, I mean, we did a lot of stuff. So I mean, like we did camping, and he's big into guns too. So I mean, he still goes and shoots like probably a few times a week easily.
Yeah.
Well,
that's it, and that's one thing. And part of my podcast, I'm always talking about older people, getting people energized. And not everybody is the gym the answer. Correct. There are so many different things that you can do. Just get out, walk, get on a bike, just do something with yourself. What gets me is so many older people, or as they get older, and then this really starts in your 50s. What I noticed is that they stop doing, they stop caring, they stop pushing. And next thing you know, they're God, you hate to say it, but almost the point of no return. They've allowed themselves to get so far out of shape. And then next thing you know, they're 62 or 63 years old. And man, you got to be a dedicated motherfucker to be 63 years old and change your pattern.
Oh, I know.
So my thing is, it's twofold. One is people in their 50s need to now stop being lazy. They need to get up. They need to get out. They need to, one, get out in the sunshine. Two, they need to be active. And three, it's like you said with your grandfather and his shooting and things, find a passion. Find something that's going to motivate you and get you up and get you about.
It doesn't even have to be the gym or shooting. It could be, like you said, going for a walk on the beach or going paddleboarding or getting on a bike.
Yeah.
Or whatever the case may be. It's just more so people just don't make the time. They put everything else, as a priority, which, I get to a degree, but, they're still, like, I make time for the gym. Yeah. I make time to do everything I need to do that involves the gym and competing and all that other shit.
Right.
So, most people just don't make the time. Yeah. And, it shows.
Well, you've been at it for so long, too, though. You're almost on the other end of the spectrum, where
on the extreme for sure.
Well, that, and also too, when I say certain people have just let themselves go so far, they've gone really beyond that point of no return. And I'm not telling anybody, okay, if you feel like you can't do anything, I'm not saying sit at home and get fatter. Still get up, go walk, go do something, but maybe don't have these ideas of grandeur that you're going to look like Mr. Olympia again one day, because it ain't going to happen. But still get out and move and get your blood flowing. You are kind of on the same thing, but the different end of the spectrum, where you're past that point of no return. You've been doing it for so long, it's become a lot of who you are. It's.
I think it's probably one of the more defining characteristics, because I don't even know what I would do without the gym. Mm-hmm. Like on my off days when I get home from work and I have nothing to do, like if I'm not cooking and everything's kind of like complete, I guess you could say, like, and I have nothing to do, I'm just like, all right, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
I'll play video games maybe, but still I feel like I'm missing something of the day.
Yeah. When did you start working out? How old were you?
So I started working out, I guess, in sixth grade. I was always kind of a smaller, skinnier kid, and in like sixth grade, I think I was like 5 feet tall, and then I hit a spurt between sixth and eighth grade. But people were a little bit bigger than me, and like it was kind of like when it first started, like people were like, at least the guys that I hang out with, like they were more, I guess, developed in a sense. So like like they kind of had bigger arms, and like there was a girl actually who had bigger arms than me and whatnot. So I was like, you know what? I was like, fuck this. I was like, I'm not going to be. I was like, that's not going to happen. And so I got an in-home gym, kind of like weights, a little bullshit flat bench, like old school, like backyard bench, and then got my first gym membership to LA Fitness when I was 14, and then just worked out. And I played sports my whole life. I've done it all: baseball, basketball, football. I played soccer. I hated it. Boxing, inline hockey. I played ice hockey. So, I've done it all. So,
right.
I was always something that I just always enjoyed, was competing and like getting better and pushing myself and suffering in the whole nine. So, and then it was, then my buddy started competing, or he did a show, and I watched him kind of do it, and I was like, oh, fuck that. And I'm like, no thanks. Mm-hmm. And then I moved to California, and then one day I was just kind of just watching my motivational videos, kind of like getting ready for the gym, and like I was just watching more and more, and kind of like listen to like these speeches or whatever have you. And after watching so many, I was like, you know what? I was like, I can do this. Mm-hmm. And it kind of just clicked one day, and I just picked a show. I reached out to a buddy and I said, hey man, can you help me? Picked a show, dieted for 16 weeks. Actually, I probably went through hell for 16 weeks, really, is what I did. And then did my first show when I was 23 in Vegas. And then since then, I think I've done like probably close to 10. Mm-hmm. And I just won my last show.
Did you win that?
I won my class. I didn't win the overall.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, that was the last. That was a year ago.
Two things I want to ask you along those lines. One of them is, when you first started, obviously you were really young. Let's fast forward that a couple years until you kind of matured a little bit, kind of got an idea of what the gym was about, and you got some kind of routine. the type of working out that you do as a beginner, obviously, is way different that you're going to do as you gain experience. Mm-hmm. When you look back, what were some of the mistakes you made as a beginner that you can counsel somebody and say, okay, don't be doing this?
Ooh, man, so if I was going to give somebody advice on like kind of what to do for like my mistakes, I would definitely say that you need to learn your body. Definitely learn your body. And one of the biggest things that, in my opinion, that you should do is this is something that you want to do, regardless of whether it's, wanting to compete or if you just want to maintain like a healthy lifestyle or look good naked or whatever the case may be, I think you should hire a coach, especially if you have no idea what you're doing. And the reason why I say that is just because like there's just so many different ways. And, the biggest thing the biggest thing I think is learning your body and learning to like connect your mind to your mind to muscle connection. Also making sure that, if you want to be a weightlifter, be a weightlifter. But if you're going to be bodybuilding, then you need to learn how to control the muscle and learn that, you're not necessarily just going to pick up the weight. Like every exercise that you do has a purpose. Every motion and movement that you do has a purpose, stuff like that. Making sure that, diet's probably the most important thing, I think.
Right.
Because you cannot work a shitty diet. I don't care how many steroids you take. I don't care what supplements you take. I don't care how much you go run during the day. It doesn't matter, because if your diet sucks, you suck. Right. It's kind of the way I look at it.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of truth to that. I mean, it's been shown that, you're only going to be as good as you eat. You got to put the right foods in, the right nutrients in, and and you got to supplement well too. I mean, that's all a part of it. And you got to rest. You got to get that. There's a lot that goes to it. But going back to coaching, for example, it's two things there. One is there's a huge spectrum on coaches too.
Nowadays, yeah,
because you can go to a gym. We won't, name any gyms in particular, but you can go to a commercial gym and they have their coaches that will be your personal trainer that, took some online course, got their certificate, and really, I've watched some of them working with clients, and you almost want to intervene. And I'm not an intervener. I don't intervene with a coach. I don't intervene if I see somebody doing something, or I wouldn't. Years ago I would try that, and it didn't always work out well. It's almost like you're interrupting somebody's business and let them. So now I just let everybody just do whatever they're doing. But when you see a coach or a trainer training in the wrong manner, God, you go, man, that's, they're supposed to know better.
Yeah, I mean, but that's also up to the person too, to a degree too. Like if, do your research, like if you feel like this coach isn't the coach for you, like, maybe look elsewhere. But, if you're also going to hire this coach, you should be asking the coach the questions, not 15 other people, because you'll get 15 other answers.
Right.
Like you're not paying them, you're paying him.
Right.
And that's where a lot of people too start to get like second guess their coach, or they start to second guess themselves, or they start to, kind of get a little discouraged or whatever the case may be, because they feel like maybe like they're not where they should be. But, there's just so much stuff that goes into like this industry or this lifestyle that, most people don't realize too, is that like, you hired the coach to do the job, but like, it's really up to you to complete the job. Mm-hmm. Because I can't control what's on your plate 99% of the day. Like if I'm your coach or if I'm your trainer or whatever, and I only see you for an hour a day, maybe 2 or 3 times a week, for that 1 hour I see you a day, what are you doing the other 23?
Right.
Because I mean, I had a client one time, he was wanting to get bigger and everything else. He was one of my first clients, and he was a great client. He basically did everything I told him to, but the problem was, though, is he was an alcoholic too. And it took a while for me to get him to stop drinking. I mean, like when I mean alcoholic, I mean every night's a blackout.
Oh, wow.
Every night. So with that being said, he came to me one time and told me that like it was my fault for him not receiving results. So me being me, I got a little feisty, and I said, let me ask you this. I'm like, who's the one that drinks every night, me or you? Who's the one that misses workouts sometimes because they're too hungover, me or you? Who misses their meals because they're too hungover and they feel like shit, me or you? So realistically speaking, you're the only one that's hurting your gains, not me. Mm-hmm. I'm not the one drinking. I'm not the one telling you to go drink. I'm not the one missing workouts. So
that's a tough conversation.
Well, you brought it up.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
like if I was truly, I felt like it was my fault.
Mm-hmm.
For not producing on my end, then it would have been a different conversation. But I feel like I've done everything he asked. Hand over fist, and gave him all the knowledge that I knew at the time, and forwarded it to him. So, at that point, it's no longer up to me.
Well, bodybuilding and working out in the gym it's a singular sport.
Very much so.
You can't,
to a degree. I think takes a team too.
Well, it takes a team, I think, to get to the level that you're at. The guy that's at the gym and working out, like say a guy like me, it's singular. I can go out and I can seek help. I can seek assistance. Mm-hmm. I can get opinions. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I'm the one that has to go back to the gym and I have to mm-hmm. produce. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And if I'm going and I'm looking for information, if I'm coming to you and say, Robby, I need some help, can you put me on a program? And you go, sure, no problem. Here's the program. Well, if I don't read the program or I don't act on the program, mm-hmm. it's nothing's going to happen. So that's where I say it's a singular. You have to be responsible for yourself.
It's just a very disciplined sport.
Yeah.
And a lot of people make excuses for why they're not in shape or why they can't do this or why they can't do that. And trust me, it's not easy competing and trying, even the lifestyle, even as is, just going to the gym to work out, to feel better about yourself or mm-hmm. lose fat, build muscle, whatever the case may be. It's just one of those things to where it's just very disciplined. And if you don't have it, you're just never going to get to where you want to go. And if you're always that person that's making excuses, on why you can't do this or why you can't do that or whatever the case may be, unfortunately, you're just not going to ever get to where you want to go.
Well, have you ever listened to David Goggins?
Absolutely.
Guy's a freaking beast, man. But that's one of the things, when you get past the point of thinking about what he's talking about physically, mm-hmm. really what he's saying is the mental aspect. Yeah. What he's talking about is how your mind is going to talk you out of every fucking thing that's good for you, mm-hmm. that's going to take effort. Because it doesn't want to go through the effort.
Effort's hard.
Doesn't want to feel the pain. Doesn't want to just, whatever that it is. It's one of the things that when I think about him, what resonates the most is him talking about going for a run. And that's what he's known for, is running. Mm-hmm. Ultra marathons, back to back, whatever the fuck it is. And he talks about getting up in the morning and not wanting to run. He talks about sitting there staring at his running shoes for 30 minutes, swearing at them, and then puts them on, convinces himself. And it's kind of like what we were talking about earlier, or I was talking about how I play mental games when I'm at the gym just to get me, one more set, mm-hmm. One more, whatever that it is, play those mental games. Well, he does that same thing. He'll go, okay, I don't feel up to it. I'm just going to go out. I'll do 3 miles. I'll go out and I'll do 3 miles. Well, he gets that 3 miles and he's all of a sudden warmed up a little bit and starts feeling better. Next thing you know, he's run, 10, 12, 15 miles. And that's what it takes. But that's his discipline is fucking.
Well, yeah, his whole thing, even with, I guess anything that you do, it's all about mindset. And, and it's just hard to get yourself in that mindset when, yeah, absolutely. There's times, if everyone sees, whether it's on Instagram or, depending on who they follow as far as influencers go, all they ever see is the good stuff.
Right.
Nobody ever sees the struggle of having to wake up at 6 a.m. and I'm sitting there and it's freezing cold and I'm just like, fuck me, I don't want to go do this hour of cardio on the stairs. Mm-hmm. Nobody ever sees that part. So everybody sees the, whether you want to call it the overnight success or, the fact that they just have, they've always had this body or this drive or whatever. They only post motivational stuff. Well, no one's going to sit there and post about how they're looking at this meal and they don't want to eat it, or they're sitting there talking to their girlfriend, just sitting there bitching about how they don't want to eat it, or how they don't want to do cardio, or how they don't want to go to the gym, or how they're tired, or how everything just hurts. Nobody ever talks about that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And that's 100% every part of it.
Yeah. The hurting part.
Because when shit hurts, nobody wants to do it.
No, nobody wants to do it. And it's not just hurting you at the gym. Just wait. Just wait, to everybody that's out there, wait until you're fucking 70 years old like me. It used to be I had muscle soreness, afterwards and maybe the following day. Now I got muscle soreness every fucking day. Yeah. It never goes away. My lower back, my triceps, my legs, my whatever that it is. There's always muscle soreness in some aspect that just never goes away.
No matter how hard you train. I've had back surgery twice, and I'm sore every day.
Yeah.
Some days more than others, but it's just every day my lower back is sore to a degree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when you go, let's go back to, okay, you did your first contest. You're 21?
I was 20. I was 22 almost. Shit. I was almost 23. It was either the week before my birthday or the week after. I think it was the week before. So I was still 20. Let's just say 23.
Okay. So you've got 10 contests, in between.
Roughly. I'd say it's about that. I don't know what the number is, but I think it's about that.
So what has changed from your training, your diet, your rest, everything from the first contest to how you train and prepare today?
So the first contest, I didn't really know kind of really what to do, nor so I guess what to really expect. I just kind of knew it was just going to be a suffering. Mm-hmm. So I was at this gym. It's called Metrics off of in Costa Mesa, off of 17th.
What was that?
It's the 12 now. Mm-hmm. It used to be Metrics. It was an old school gym. Probably one of the best gyms ever. I miss that gym so much.
Yeah, I miss some of the old. I can tell you stories about old school gyms.
Dude, this gym was the gym. I walked in there and I was like, I'm home. Mm-hmm. Anyway, and then some douchebag thought he was going to turn the gym into a super gym and it failed, and fucking douche.
Just ruined the whole thing.
He was such a douche. I hope he hears this. Anyway, so let's see. So I was kind of like, asking guys. There was a guy there who was a professional bodybuilder, and I was kind of asking him for help because he was, he would help me here and there. I didn't over ask and kind of take advantage of his help. I just kind of just asked questions that I was just curious about for obviously my own personal knowledge, and kind of just it was a major question, I guess you could say. So, but training wise, I guess after my first show, my training was more so I wasn't lifting as heavy as I should, I guess, while still keeping the reps high. So I was using more moderate weight at a higher reps, not necessarily focusing on also trying to build muscle or I guess maintain that size. Mm-hmm. But as far as training goes, it's definitely more mind to muscle connection, squeezing, adding in supersets, adding in drop sets, adding in, heavy sets, adding in, slow and controlled, adding in, duck squats, different angles, different, exercises to execute, building up a lagging body part. Let's see what else as far as training goes. That's pretty much it, man. It's just more so just instead of worrying about lifting the heaviest, is more so about lifting as heavy as I can while still keeping a relatively perfect form and still hitting 12.
So let me ask you on lifting in different angles. What is the benefit of that you find from doing different angles on the same muscle group?
Different angles, in my opinion, kind of hit different areas of the muscle. When you're doing a standing dumbbell curl, you're kind of hitting more so the entire of the muscle. But when I put in an angle, you kind of angle it to where it hits a little bit, you can change the peak or the way the kind of muscle is shaped and formed. Mm-hmm. And it just gives it, just hitting the muscle in a different angle, which gives it kind of more of a different type of stimulation. Mm-hmm. Because doing a regular barbell squat with your feet flat on the ground and then adding in, that kind of hits quads, glutes, and hams. They kind of hit the whole lower half. But you throw a plate under your leg, and you do a duck squat, well, now it's a quad emphasis motion. And then you're pretty much hitting the teardrops, if you will, or the teardrops of your quads. And then, you know, in some other aspects, you know, you turn your feet out a little bit and do the same thing. Well, then you're also you can hit the outside of your quad, the outer quad suite.
But it's still using the whole quad, but it's focusing a little bit more emphasis on one aspect of the quad.
Correct. So I use bands, like certain like motions too. Like on the leg press, I'll throw a band around, you know, right above my knee, and I'll go in the leg press, and I'll have the band touch my chest, and then not fully extend to lock out. So it's like right above, like, I guess 90 when I'm pushing back up. I'll come back down, but I'll slow controlled, and it kind of keeps it more so like in the upper outer quad, as opposed to like if I were to take maybe the band off and go closer with my feet, then you're kind of more so hitting like your inner quad.
Right.
So
then when you say, you know, you don't take it to do you full lock out anything?
No.
Okay.
No. Nope. Because then at that point you're resting.
Right.
Like if we're talking about 315 and I'm on like my 15th rep and I'm like, all right, 5 more, then, you know, I maybe lock out at the top for a quick breath, but those next 5 they're not being locked out.
Right. Yeah. Do you work out on your own mostly, or do you have a partner that you train with?
So luckily for me, back when I first started getting ready for shows, like I had this buddy who, by the grace of God, he kind of had the same schedule I did, and he was much bigger than I was. His name was Jeremiah, and I owe a lot to him, in my opinion, about kind of how or where I owe him a lot of thanks to where I am today, I feel like. He showed me how to train. He showed me how to push myself. He showed me, like I said, the different angles, different exercises. Plus, he was pretty smart, and like he knew my body very well, so he kind of knew how like my body mechanics worked to get me to where I wanted to be. And, you know, I worked out with him, at least 5 days a week for 6 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, I mean, he worked from home and he kind of did whatever he wanted. So, like every day, you know, every day, you know, the 5 days a week that we were training, like he was pretty readily available. And I was obviously readily available because I was personal training and I was bouncing at the time. So, like my daytime schedule was pretty open.
Right.
And I tell you what, man, the first time I ever did legs with him, I threw up, I think, after the first set.
The first set?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. He was a motherfucker, but it was fun.
But you went back.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
And every time before legs, man, I would always get this rush of anxiety, and I was just like, I'm going to throw up before we even start, because I knew like it was going to be terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what you were talking about. You know, the discipline is right there, knowing full well what you're going into, and you still go into it. You know, I mean, how many guys don't even work legs? You know, I mean, you see it.
I mean,
you see it at the fucking gym.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's obvious. You see it at the beach. A guy walking around, he's all, you know, chest, arm, shoulders, got everything there. Got legs that big.
Yeah, I mean, I every time I knew too, man. I mean, I always just knew that like I was gonna suck, but I mean, it was definitely worth it. And to me, like going to the gym and suffering like that, to me, like that's fun.
Yeah. Afterwards.
Yeah, I mean that too, but
yeah.
But like the pumps that you get, you're just like, yeah, that was a good times. But,
well, you know, and that's something that people don't understand either. You know, when you go to the gym and you work out and you work out right, what that pump feels like, unless you've ever had one, unless you've been to the gym, and you have no idea. I mean, that right there makes the drive home so freaking nice.
The first bicep pump I ever got, oh man, I remember, dude, I thought my arms were like. I thought it was huge. And I like speaking of that, so like I remember, you know, when it comes back, you know, going back to kind of like trusting the process, like dude, I remember the first time back to, I guess when I first started working out, like, you know, magazines were still a thing. You know, not like now where you could just flip, you know, pull up an app and see everybody, but you know, like Muscle and Fitness, Muscular Development, and I was a big Ronnie Coleman fan. He was the first pre-workout I ever took, and that was No Explode back in 2004-ish, I guess, when pre-workout kind of still came around. And big Ronnie Coleman fan, man. And I just remember I wanted to look like him, and I just remember like also this magazine that I bought from Muscle and Fitness, or Mom bought or whoever bought it. And I was like, I want to look like this guy. So like, and I was reading the magazine, and he had one of those like the skinnier kind of like straight bars. And I was like, I need this. And I said, I'm going to look like this guy by the end, like in like 4 months.
4 months.
18 years later. Still don't look like him.
No one's going to look like Ronnie Coleman. I mean, that guy was a monster. I mean, he's paid the price for it, but that guy.
Yeah, that dude was a freak. But
yeah, by far. And people don't understand. I mean, hard work and effort, is one thing. Diet's one thing. Rest is one thing.
Dude, I didn't realize how important rest was until like I kind of started, like I got like a real job and like started like adulting, if you will. Yeah, because I could, back in the younger days, I'd be asleep, bed at 2, wake up kind of whenever, or even if I had to wake up early, I knew I could go back to sleep in a couple hours or like in an hour.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'd be fine. But
I remember when we first met, I'd give you a call up or something. Just taking a nap. I go, fucking nap. What the fuck?
Yeah, man. That's when I was living the life of leisure, man. Had my own schedule, and now there's things are a little different, but yeah. So I guess going back into diet, I mean, the only thing that's really changed, man, is just like, I mean, I've gone through a couple of different coaches, and for the most part, I mean, like, foods always will stay the same. I don't see foods changing much. It's just more so like the portions behind it. Because as you get bigger, your body takes more food. So it's really just finding a point to where like you can still burn fat without eating into your muscle, and still getting to where you want to be. So, I mean, diet. I mean, I don't even remember my first diet, honestly. But this last diet, I mean, like this last coach I had, he was head and shoulders above, like, I mean, beyond perfect. He was a little expensive considering, but I mean, honestly, man, like for what kind of the result, it was kind of worth it, because I had a weekly call with him. Everything he wrote out for me was detailed to the T. It was highlighted if it was changed, and this is the color, and this, that, and another. Here's your workouts. If you need anything, text me. If it can wait, schedule it on the call. He was there for my show, so that was nice. But as far as dieting goes, I mean, like this last prep, I didn't go below. I don't think I went below like maybe like 100 grams of carbs, honestly.
Really?
Maybe 125. And I mean, I've done shows where I did 50 for 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And if you want to talk about shitty.
If you haven't carb depleted or cut back on carbs drastically, you don't realize how hard that is. And just in a lot of ways, one, just dietary, it's really hard. But the other two, mentally for me was always the problem was whenever I would, cut carbs down real low. It was more of a mental thing.
Well, a lot of things just tend to suffer, and like that's kind of like the beauty about the science behind everything is that, like, some coaches will pull your fat or your carbs, but they'll also increase your fats. So that way that you get your energy from there, and like you still have a little bit of brain function.
Right.
But it gets to a certain point through prep where like if need be and it's time to start suffering, well, have fun.
Yeah.
Because you can't spell diet without the word die, and that's exactly what your body thinks it's doing. And I mean, I've been so tired, man, to where like even like getting out of the truck felt like a mission, and just moving was a mission, and everything else was a mission, and except for having sex, that's always easy.
That was always the easy part. Yeah. It's funny how that works. It's fat burning.
Yeah. I just justify it as extra cardio, but
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm surprised it wasn't written into the program. But that's.
But every coach is different, man. Yeah. So I mean, you got to find the one that fits best with you, and the one that like you like. Because I mean, the first coach I had, like, he was a great coach, and he helped me get to where I wanted. I mean, like, I didn't win with him, unfortunately, but I mean, we got very close. And from where I started to where I kind of finished with him, it was, I would say it was almost night and day difference. And it was a good learning experience, and he just wasn't the coach for me, just because like I wasn't necessarily his bread and butter. And, you know, I don't know, maybe I just didn't suck his dick enough, but that's not me. So I wasn't, you know. And then this other coach he was just a douche. I asked him a question one time, and he sent me 2 different spreadsheets, and I said, "Hey man, which one do you want me to do?" And he's like, "You don't know how to read?"
Oh.
And I said, "Look, motherfucker." I'm like, "You sent me 2 different things. Which one do you want me to do?" So after that, I was just like, and then this last coach, the one I just told you about, his name was Zach Blakeney. He was in Austin, and I found him through a guy who's pretty well known in the sport, and he just sent me, he's like, "Look, I got 2 options for you. One's good with this, and one's good with, you know, this guy's good with this, and this guy's good with that." So, can we talk about anything?
Huh?
We talk about whatever?
Yeah.
Okay, so this coach was like, I got a guy who's good with juice, and I got a guy who's good with, one was better with juice than diet, and the other one was better with diet than he was juice.
Mm-hmm.
So I went with the guy who's better with diet. And honestly, like, I mean, it helped out a lot. So, and I learned a lot. So, and a lot of things that he made sense, and he was always there to answer my questions. So if I could afford him again, I'd probably go with him again.
So has the science behind dieting changed dramatically, or is it all basically the same?
Talking about with me personally, or are you talking about with people in general?
With you.
With me, so the first coach I had, he was a carb cycle kind of guy. Mm-hmm. So like my carb cycles, when I was bulking, it was like, so he was on a 4-day rotation. So it was 3 lows and a high. So my low days were 200 grams, 400 grams, 600 grams, and then my high day was 800 grams. So your high day was supposed to be like your off day. It was more like your refeed day. Mm-hmm. So he did that, and I mean, that worked. I mean, I got lean and still stayed full. So like, I mean, that works. And then this other coach I used for this last show, I didn't use the second coach for a show. I just kind of used him to get big or bigger. And I mean, he got me bigger. I mean, I think I got to like 240, right? But COVID hit, and it just kind of just fucked me. So
everybody,
I just lost a ton of motivation and whatnot. And anyway, so then my second coach that I used to compete, he kind of had more so specific meals. So I would have a meal, you know, like my first meal was 2 whole eggs, like for my diet, for like, it was like 2 whole eggs, 5 ounces of 90-10, a cup of gluten-free oats, and then I think a banana, and then some Optigreens. And then it's like, so each meal was like written out for you in detail,
right?
As opposed to like, here are your macros for the day. You know, this is kind of what you should do.
Yes. Pull that closer to you.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So I mean, like my macros, some coaches do macro based, and some other coaches just kind of like I said, he basically just wrote out my meal plans for the day so that I knew what I had to eat.
Right. And
portion it out. But for me, as far as it goes, I think it's just like, if there's anything that I've kind of learned, that I definitely, especially during the bulking phase, I definitely can hold a tighter, fuller physique, obviously with more carbs and higher fats. So like right now, like I think my carbs are around 500-600 a day, and my fats are probably around, they got to be close to like between 120 and 150. Mm-hmm. And then my protein's probably around 250-ish a day. So, but as far as that goes, I mean, I'd say that I don't think there's really much of a science behind it. It's just more so like, and I know I'm like pretty carb sensitive too. So, I mean, I could drop weight. I mean, I could drop 10 pounds like that. If I don't eat for like, let's say I didn't eat from whatever time it is now until tomorrow, I could probably lose between 5 and 10 pounds.
Could you really? Just like that quickly?
Like that. Oh, yeah.
What do you attribute that to?
Metabolism, genetics, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, because my dad he was a skinny guy too. I mean, in high school, he said he graduated high school at 5 foot, 100 pounds. Now he's 6 foot, 200-ish. Mm-hmm. So.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I was hearing someone was having a conversation about genetics and diet and food, and there's like DNA testing that takes you all the way back of where you came from, what your ancestors were accustomed to eating, and everybody has a different food path. Some people can handle a lot more carbs than others. Some more protein based. Some are more green vegetable based. I found that kind of interesting that they can do something like that, take you all the way back. That you'd be.
So I had a coach that kind of was into, I don't want to say believed in it, but that was kind of his strategy. Is he wanted you to do a blood test to figure out which type of if you're type O negative or whatever blood types there are, and he tried to base your diet based upon that.
I've not heard of that.
So I don't know, man. Like I said, there's so many people that try to reinvent the wheel, and I think that like basic dieting is going to ultimately and forever be the answer. Yeah. A lot of these top name coaches. I mean, a lot of people will have you do blood work. Especially like in the division that I'm in, because I mean, if you're in this division, chances are you're taking shit. You know what I mean? So, and a lot of coaches nowadays, especially with all the people that are just dropping dead left and right, they're doing a lot of blood work now. So a lot of coaches will make, if you go get your blood work tested, some might even go a little bit further than that, check your calcium levels and make sure your heart's okay, to, obviously cholesterol, your kidneys, liver, see what where your test levels are at, see where your cortisone levels are at, cholesterol, your estrogen, your T3, your thyroid.
I think all of that is majorly important, especially in taking, gear, you need to know where it's at, what it's doing, because
you could be taking fake shit and not know it, or dirty shit.
Yeah.
But I mean, like even outside of competing, I mean, like I still think that like it should be a part like of your yearly checkup.
Yeah.
Just because, like whether you're a gym goer, whether you're on gear, whether you're on TRT or whatever the case may be, you need to know that it's working, and you need to know kind of where you're at in case you need to change things, or even if you're all natural, and you're just a gym goer, just trying to stay in shape, for the average male, I mean, man or woman, when your test levels drop, I mean, everything else suffers, kind of motivation, your sex drive, your passion, your want to do this, your, motivation, and you can die just as easily from having low testosterone as having going to a diabetic coma, I guess. So if you're not careful monitoring that shit,
Yeah, and I'm a huge believer in TRT. It's I believe all men at some point in time should be tested, and if their testosterone is low, we've got the pharmaceuticals to fix that, and they have no idea if the benefit of it, of the energy, the mood, the temperament, just.
Your wife's happier?
Yeah. I mean, everybody's happier. Yeah. I mean, I've been on a TRT program. I'm open to people about it. I've been doing it now for 8 years, maybe. And
I mean, like my dad's been on it for probably close to it too, like 10. I mean, and I mean, anybody that says that like, they don't need it or whatever, they want to sit there and kind of like go against the grain. Yeah. They have no idea what they're missing.
Yeah, it is.
Even at TRT.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, like, even the small dosage spikes your levels back up to some cases, in the thousands and even more, depending on, how well the dosage, obviously, that your doctor gives you and, how well you respond to it.
Right. Yeah. But then along with that, especially, having it prescribed for you allows you to get your blood work done and allow somebody to monitor it for you. And I feel for me, especially like at my age, I'm, kind of going into a new territory with the TRT. I don't know, what it's like for guys older age, to continue on, with it. But as long as the blood work is good, as long as maintaining my health and the doctor is good with it, it's.
I mean, I think you should run that shit for until they put you in the ground, honestly, because I mean, if it's as long as you're getting monitored and like they can adjust, because you can always adjust dosages and everything else in between. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, why not? Because
we running low on time with you?
Shortly. My sister was texting me about whether or not I'm meeting them at the restaurant or at Dad's house. So.
Yeah. You've got to leave about what, 6:30?
Well, it's about 6:30 right now.
Oh, it is?
So,
yeah, it's amazing how quickly our time flies here.
Oh, I know. I mean,
we can talk about this shit forever, So now all we've done is just opened up for another round coming up soon. We can even do remote. Hook you up.
I mean, I got access. I got computer access and all that shit. So
yeah. We should set up a remote to where we can spend, because usually our podcasts go normally Brian, from about 2.5 to 3 hours.
Yeah, I think the longest one we've done so far was like almost 3.5 hours.
Yeah, it just keeps going, man. Yeah. We got no limitations. I mean, that's the fun thing about doing it the way we do it. It's just, good stuff. But
because I mean, we'll finish up here shortly. But like my dad, he tore his bicep and he got put on TRT and HGH therapy too, man. And after about a month, he went to the doctor or he had surgery and he went to the doctor and the doctor was like, okay, go like that, wiggle your hand. And he did the same thing the doctor did. And the doctor's like, what the fuck are you doing? Mm-hmm. And like, Dad's like, I'm just, recovering, bullshitting the doctor or whatever.
Yeah.
And so, and, he's been on it ever since. And, he even tells me he can tell when like it's kind of getting like, too far along in his next injection or whatever have you. He said he just feels it all over. Back hurts, ankles hurt, knees hurt.
Yeah.
Everything hurts.
Yeah. I noticed that. And it's funny too, because the doctor wants you to do a certain amount every 10 days. And there's no fucking way, So I split it up to where I'm doing it twice a week.
Yep.
I religiously do it on my Wednesday and Sunday. Sunday. That's the easiest way for me to remember it. And it doesn't allow for that swing.
Yep. Your blood level's more stable.
More stable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's doing, I think, 250 a week. Mm-hmm. Wherever, whatever. So, because I mean, like when I cruise, usually I'll start 375 and I'll kind of drop it so much every so often.
Yeah.
So that way, like when I'm running my higher dosages, I don't, just drop down to 200 and crash.
Yeah.
Because that sucks too.
That does suck. Yeah. Well, that's one of the things too in the TRT program, and especially when you're using the gear for bodybuilding or for whatever, is that you have to recognize that once you do that, the body is going to automatically shut down its natural production of testosterone, and so if you back down from it, you're going down to zero. You're going down in the danger zone.
Yeah, I've had buddies come off cold turkey, man, and
holy shit.
And they don't tell me until afterwards, and they're like, dude, I feel like shit. I'm like, well, how long have you been on? They're like, well, I've been off. I'm like, why the fuck didn't you say anything? Like, Yeah. Well, they're like, I just figured you just come off cold turkey. And I'm like, no, man, that's not how it works.
No.
So, but another thing too is like with the doctor aspect of it, you just got to make sure you get a doctor that's, willing and understanding and isn't trying to be your fucking mommy.
Right.
Because I had a doctor try to be my mommy, and I said, look, lady, I said, I already have one mom. I said, I don't need fucking two. I just need to make sure that I'm doing this as regimented or supervised as possible.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. My doctor's always been really.
Is it a guy or a girl?
It's a girl. And
really?
She's really, really good. And she's she was very open.
It's hard to find a girl that's open about that stuff.
Yeah. No, she's really good, really good. I appreciate her a lot because it allows me to do this in a very supervised manner that I know I'm being regulated and watched, and that my health is foremost, and allows me to do it feeling safe about doing it because You know,
at least you're getting quality product too.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Now you're some dickhead that made in his bathtub down the street,
exactly right.
using the fucking ocean water to make your shit.
Yeah, no, and the surprising part too is that when I go to CVS and and I get my prescription filled, and it's $5.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, because. Well, it's because
insurance.
Is your
insurance pretty good? Has to be.
Yeah, insurance is good, and and then it's it has become more open and more available, and so insurance companies recognize it as being it's a
moneymaker.
It's a moneymaker, but it's a health issue also.
Yeah, too.
And I think that they're starting to look at it that way, more so than ever in the past, where it was more of a, guys just it's like Cialis or something, that hey, you just want to go and have great sex, but it's not that way. I mean, it's overall well balance of life, and
testosterone makes the world go around, man.
Yeah. My first experience with it was, some years ago.
What's the first time you ever took an injection?
Oh, it's been 8 years. Because prior to that,
so you were natural all the way up until?
I was natural until I was 60.
Fuck.
Yeah. Until I was 60, and I was
Me too.
And I was and I was in the best I was in the best shape of my life at 60 without it. But what I recognized was that I was just fatigued a lot, and
so what made you go to the doctor?
I went to the doctor. Doctor tested it, and then put me on androgel. The lotion.
I think my mom was on that shit.
Yeah, it's
a little bit. It's like 10 milligrams or something.
I can't remember what it was, but he said, apply it to each shoulder once a day or whatever. So I started doing that. I started feeling better, and then I started doing 2 applications, to each shoulder, and things were going great. My blood work was good. I had the prescription. Everything was going okay. And then in one of my tests, my PSA level was up. So they had to take me off. Going back to what you were saying, though, but the doctor didn't just cold turkey it.
Right. Yeah.
It was okay. You got to
go back to one.
Go back to every other day, kind of weaned off of it. And then, come to find out I did have prostate cancer. So, I had the surgery, had everything done. I was asking all along, well, can I go back on testosterone? Can I go back on? Well, we don't know. We don't think so, because, testosterone has a tendency to, if you have cancer, to accelerate the growth of cancer and whatever. So, but then after the surgery and they did the whole removal of the prostate, and then I kept going back for a test, and it was 0.1 or something. I mean, it was it was gone. It was gone. And after about almost a year of testing and having 0 results, they let me go back on it, and then I started feeling better from that point. And then I started asking about having injections with them, and she said that, this is another doctor. And then I went to the doctor I'm at now, and I started talking, about wanting to do the injection versus having to, because it was messy. And, I just.
It gets on your clothes and shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't think it is as good as, the injection anyways. But, so she said, okay. And then I, started doing the injection, and everything's been good, and my PSA levels have stayed non-existent, and white blood cell count's good, red. I mean, everything, every single time.
It's a miracle drug, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
people don't realize it.
Yeah, it's good shit, man.
I mean, even in your 30s, Yeah, I mean, shit, I took my first one the day I graduated high school.
Did you really? Yeah.
So I had back surgery, and I think I had gotten cleared finally. So I had back surgery in April of 2009. I actually had back surgery the weekend of my senior prom, which whatever. And then I think like in June June 13th or something like that is the day we walked, and that was like 6-ish weeks post-op or 8 weeks or something like that. And I could finally start going back to the gym. Mm-hmm. And I went to my buddy's house. And, you know, he showed me how to do everything, and he handed it to me. He goes, okay, here you go. And I said, well, you're not going to do it? And he goes, nope. He's like, I'm not going to be there every time. So I said, fuck. I said, all right. And I was looking at this thing, and I'm like, all right, there's no going back, and just darted myself, and that was
the beginning.
Yeah, the beginning of the end.
Beginning of the end. I know. I was always. I don't know what it was. I mean, I grew up in an era where nobody did it. I mean,
it was very taboo.
Let's put it this way: nobody did it and talked about it.
No, not like today. Yeah,
not like today. So I mean, there was a certain mystique about it my whole life, and it was only all of a sudden when I was in my 50s and I started thinking about it and hearing about it, and then I think, you know, I mean, if you want to talk about having what are they called, you know, drugs like marijuana and stuff, and you know, and then you get stronger from that point on. You know, you go bigger.
Yeah,
bigger.
Your tolerance built up.
Yeah, well, no, not that, but it's like you go to, you know, worse. You know, if you try
gateway drug.
Yeah, the gateway drug thing. That was it. Yeah, so I always looked at, you know, the cream, the androgel is my gateway into it. You know, but yeah, but once I started feeling it, I mean, it was like.
It's night and day, man. I'm telling you,
it was an unbelievable feeling, and I stress this. I know any guys that are out there and they're listening to this, and you're in, you know, your 50s or your 60s, and you're not feeling like you've got the energy, you're not feeling like the guy you used to. Please go out and get it checked. You know, get two things checked. One of them, get your testosterone level, you know, checked, but also get your PSA levels, you know, checked at the same time too, because prostate cancer is still, I think, the number one killer of men, and it's a dangerous fucking thing, and it's so, I mean, curable. Mm-hmm. You know, just got to find it.
Yeah, when I was kind of contemplating whether or not I was going to go through with the whole, like, you know, kind of going down that road of running gear and the whole shebang, I was one movie. If for all those that are listening, one movie that I watched that kind of like, I guess I don't say pushed me, but kind of like, I don't say influenced me, but kind of gave me like the knowledge, I guess, or the basic knowledge to kind of like make my own decision was Bigger, Faster, Stronger. Mm-hmm. So it's a movie about steroids. So, or this guy named Mark Bell, or is it Mark Bell? I think he was Mark Bell. There's two brothers, Mark Bell, and I think there was Mike Bell. And it talks about how, like, you want to be a pro wrestler, and like their brothers want to be pro wrestlers, and blah blah blah. And one brother was taking steroids, and one brother wasn't. And he was kind of going around, like going to like politicians and asking them questions about it. And he was going to like, you know, like kind of like random gym gurus, I guess you could say, or like, you know, like the old school guys that were around, I guess, from Arnold. He would go to like. You know, he went to like these military Air Force guys that would use like go pills is what they called them, you know, and how like that's okay, but taking steroids isn't, and how like, you know, like people take Adderall versus, you know, but people can't take steroids, but how is Adderall not cheating if it's helping you get a better grade and kind of stuff like that. And they talk about this one kid actually from the city that I was in who took steroids at a young age, and he was on antidepressants, and he came off cold turkey and killed himself.
On antidepressant.
Well, I mean, they say you're not supposed to mix both, but yeah, he ended up killing himself, and like he's there, like that family's in the movie, and like they talks about like how like the side effects, and you know, basically it's just a movie about like the opinion on like whether or not steroids are like how American are they,
right,
or whatever,
right.
Interesting movie. So if you ever find time and you're bored or whatever,
yeah, it sounds like an interesting movie. I have to look for that one.
It's pretty interesting, man, because I mean, people talk about, you know, oh, people die from steroids all the time, and this, that, and another. And, you know, more people are, you know, the people that have, in this movie at least, have died from steroids was like 150 something on the list. Mm-hmm. You know, and like, you know, you can get, you know, people talk about like the side effects of steroids. Well, you take too much vitamin C, and if you're a woman, you get like vaginal discharge, and you get all these weird ass side effects, you know. So like within moderation, you know, with TRT,
Right.
You know, everything's good in moderation for the most part.
Well, and that's my belief in most everything in life is balance. You got to find some balance, and I know balance can be argued on both sides. That don't have time for balance. Balance isn't going to get me where I want to be. Well, that may be true, but there comes a point in time in life. And it's like what you were talking about. Your career and where you're at right now. Sooner or later, you're not going to have all the time. You're gonna have children. You're gonna have a full-time job that's requiring a lot of extra hours from you. You're gonna own a house. You're gonna have the backyard. You don't want to give up the gym, but you're gonna have to find some balance because it may not have the same amount of time available to you.
Yep. I agree with that. I mean, it's kind of already getting to that point. It's not like to a degree to where it's just like you got to make the time.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, if I was in a perfect world, if I could 5 a.m. at the gym every day, I'd do that, honestly.
Oh, fuck that. I've done that before. I am not a morning
person. If you're not in bed by, 9 o'clock, you're fucked.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You have to be in bed and asleep before 10.
Yeah, the worst time of my life was when I had a friend of mine that owned a small gym, like what we were talking about, little neighborhood, dark-ass fucking gym. And there was a group of us that wanted to start working out at 5 o'clock. A small group. I'm talking like 5 or 6 guys. And, so we went to Frank, and I said, Frank, let me have a key. Let me open up for you every morning. I'll open up at 5 o'clock and let everybody in. So he did it for me. Biggest mistake I ever made, because now all of a sudden I'm fucking responsible. I got to show up because I told everybody that I was going to, and it forced me there, but I never enjoyed it. I did that for like 2 years, and I never did enjoy it.
I always kind of like waking up at 5 a.m. with a buddy because I was always kind of like you said, it goes back to competition, like who's going to bitch out.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was never me.
No. Well, I could never because I had to open it up, and it sucked having that responsibility because if I didn't, then I'm getting a phone call, where the fuck are you?
Yeah, but it's also kind of nice too at 5 a.m., you're done, work, whatever. Because when I was in mortgages, I was doing it because I was going to Equinox over the 405. Mm-hmm. And, I paid for the bougie membership. I had my own locker. They washed my gym clothes. Valet was part of the whole thing. We had showers, blah, blah, blah. So, it was just super convenient. So I'd be done 5 a.m., done by 7:45 at the office by between 8 and probably 8:15, and done at 6:30 with work. And after that, it's pretty much just straight home to
Yeah, I do have relax. To say, because I would have to start work at 7 and taking a shower, getting dressed, and walking out of the gym and knowing that it was done. That was a good feeling. Mm-hmm. That was good.
Yep.
So, well, Bubby, thank you, man. I appreciate you being here.
Thanks, man. It was fun.
This is cool, and it's good seeing you. I'm glad you're home for the holidays. And
it's good to be back, man.
Yeah, we'll do this again, even if we have to do it remotely. But,
man, I'm always down. That was fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh yeah, man.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.